This next example is a little tougher. I want you to go to this page in your book. Example 2. This is page 26 in your textbook. Okay, and you're going to need a ruler for this. So if you don't have a ruler, grab one.
Yes, please. Thanks.
Okay, so the Carson's family is trying to decide which TV they should buy, right? They know they want a 32-inch TV, but they're not sure about the aspect ratio. Do you guys know what an aspect ratio is?
No.
Okay, a 4:3 and a 16:9. Basically what it means is... that's not quite accurate. Let me try again. A 4:3 aspect ratio means that for every 4 inches you have in the width, there's 3 inches in the height. Right? So if the bottom was 8 inches long, then this would be 6. Get that? Okay? But the ratio between these two sides is 4:3. In a 16:9, it's a little bit of a wider TV because for every 16 inches or 16 units you have on the bottom, there are 9 inches on the height. Okay? And most TVs nowadays are what?
50.
Which of these two do you think most TVs are today? Are they more square-like or are they more rectangular-like? Yeah, you just look at this TV, right? It's definitely 16:9. Right, 4:3 would mean it's close to being a square, and those would be the old CRT TVs. But now that widescreen is such a huge thing, a lot of TVs have a much more length than they do height, right? So we're going to help them decide which is the better TV to buy based on how much area the screen has. Okay? So, here's what we're going to do. You see the picture of the 4:3 TV that they have right there? Right? And they said it's a 32-inch TV. Why is there a 32 in the middle? Shouldn't 32 like go across the bottom or something? Why is the 32-inch across the diagonal?
Well, that's what they do.
Rectangle.
Yeah, that's what they do for a lot of things. They do it for like computers and such.
Yeah, when you buy a TV, when you buy a 32-inch TV, that means that the distance from here to here is 32 inches. So this is a 50-inch TV. No, it's 55. Yeah. So that means the distance from here to here is 55. Well, it's actually, I think they cut off they cut off half an inch, or is it an inch and a half?
Why is that?
I don't know.
They just do it.
Scammers. You can even see it on the fine print on the TV box. They say like 32-inch TV, but it's really, I think it's 31.5 is the exact measurement.
It really doesn't matter.
You got ripped off. Sorry. So, what we're going to do is we're going to figure out the length and width of our TV here. Okay? So, this distance here in real life is 32 inches. How many inches is it on the paper? Measure it for me. Okay, measure the diagonal with your ruler. So we're just going to say 2.5. You can see it's really close to the half mark. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to round it to 2.5. Okay, so on our paper this is 2.5 inches, but in real life it's 32 inches. Interesting. Okay, we want to know the real life lengths of the length and the width. Okay, what's the book length? Right? The length and the width, if you measure it with a ruler in inches, what are they? Let's do the width. Well, they call it width and height. So 1.5 for the height. Is that what you just measured?
Yeah.
Okay, and then the bottom, someone had it? 2? Is that what you said, Hannah?
Oh yeah, I said
Yeah.
2.2.
Okay, but that's not the real TV, right? A 2-inch TV would be kind of lame. Okay, so we want to find the real dimensions and then find the area of that screen. Follow what we're doing? So, how do I figure out the actual, what do they call it, width of the TV? You guys remember this from grade 9?
Sort of.
This is 2.5 in real life, 32 on the, 32 in real life, 2.5 on the picture. Could I somehow use those numbers to figure out these measurements?
Like the scale factor.
The scale factor. Good. What did they multiply 2.5 by to get to 32? That's what we want to figure out. Right? So they went, essentially what they did to find the scale factor is they went 2.5 times, we'll just call it x, equals 32. Right? They took that dimension, multiplied it by our scale factor, and we got 32. So what is that number? Well, we just divide both sides by 2.5, and x is how much?
12.8.
12.8 exactly?
Yeah.
So 12.8 is the number that we either multiply by, going small to big, or divide by, going big to small. So, do we have enough information now to figure out the width?
Mm-hmm.
Good. What is it? So for the width, what are we going to do?
So is the width the side that's 1?
The bottom. It's the bottom, 2 inches.
2 inches? So
Yeah.
you go 12.8 multiplied by 2.
Good. So go 12.8, the scale factor, times 2, and that gives me
25.6.
25.6 inches. And then the height. The height's going to be 1.5 times 2. Sorry, not 1.5. Yeah, 1.5 times 12.8.
19.2.
19.2. And now I want the viewing area. Okay, how do I find the viewing area? The area of the screen, of this screen. Yeah, length times width, right? The real viewing area. So I got to use these two values that I found before, right? So let's do that. Let's go, viewing area is going to be 25.6 times 19.2. And what do I get?
491.52.
491.52.
Yeah.
And what are my units?
Inches.
Inches. It's an area unit, so it's always going to be area units are always, it's not just inches, it's going to be inches squared. It has to be a squared unit because 491.52 inches is just a length. That's not what we're talking about, right? We're talking about an area, so our units have to be squared. So, you get the idea?
Yeah.
We're going to do the same thing for the 16 to 9 TV. Okay? We're going to measure the bottom, and we're going to measure the height, and then we're going to use our scale factor. We'll find the scale factor first. So, 32 inches. Is the scale factor the same? Might not be, it's a different picture.
Yeah.
Which one are we doing?
So on the other page, 27. See that other picture? Tell me what the screen length is now.
Two point.
2.5 still?
2.5.
Yeah, it would have to be, right? They're saying it's the same. We're just going to round it to 2.5, just to keep it simple. Okay, so 2.5 inches. We don't know the actual, what they call it, width and height, but we can measure the width and height. What's the width measured? Okay, so the bottom here is 2.25 inches. What about the height? 1 1/4. Good. So 1 point. What's a quarter in a decimal?
2.5.
Yeah, 1.25, right? You guys follow that? Okay. So we need to figure out the actual width and the actual height. So we have the same scale factor as before. So we're going to go, for the width, we go 12.8 times 2.25. What do we get? Okay, so there's one important measurement I'll need for later. And the height? What does that work out to?
16.
12.8 times 1.25 is 16
Yeah.
even.
Yeah.
And now the viewing area. I multiply those two dimensions. What do we get?
I got 460.8. Is that right?
Anyone else get that? 460.8? What'd you get? So, what's the better TV? Which one has the better area?
4 to 3.
4 to 3, yeah, the guy on the left. Right here.